Or y'all can hear me. Today we got a special guest. Her name is Margaret. She's a pastor. I'm stepping a little bit out my comfort zone today with this interview for two reasons. Number one, I don't normally do this on TikTok. I usually do this strictly on YouTube. So let me go ahead and invite her. She'll be here shortly. Give me a second. And let me get to asking her a million trillion questions. Hopefully y'all having a good Sunday. Mine is okay. And again, welcome to Faith, Lies, and Confusion. She should be here momentarily. This should be good, y'all. I'm sending her the invite now. So hopefully she'll be here shortly. I'm gonna ask her a whole bunch of questions today. I know a lot of people out there that's watching this is gonna expect me to start trying to cook her. I'm not gonna do that. Today is totally different. This is my show that I usually run on YouTube, but I'm just incorporating it here on TikTok because it's a little bit easier for everybody. Come on. Come up. Hello, how are you today? I don't know if you can hear me or not. I'm accepting it. What's up, Margaret? How you doing? Can you hear me? I can't hear you, Margaret. Hello, 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 hello. Margaret, can you hear me? I don't know. We might be having a little bit of technical difficulty here because I definitely don't hear anything that you're saying. Am I? Okay, that's better. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now? Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so I see the screen lighting up. It might just be me. Hold on. I'm gonna turn my Bluetooth off.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now. I'm gonna turn the Bluetooth off and just. How's your Sunday so far?
So far, it's okay. It's okay.
Mine too. So again, to everybody that's out here watching on YouTube, I decided to step out and do something a little bit different today. So we're here. Today's show is entitled "Meet the Pastor." If anybody can see it, if not, so here we are. Margaret's a TikTok friend of mine, and I know that she's a pastor. So I decided to interview her, and thank you again, Margaret, for agreeing to come on.
You're welcome. I'm glad to be here.
Tell us a little bit about where you grew up and what your childhood was like.
So I grew up in the South. I'm a little country girl. Honestly, I did not have the best childhood. Grew up in a lot of problems, a lot of molestation and stuff like that. I own that. That is my testimony. So I speak on it. I will say, as a little country girl in the country, you are really not safe amongst a whole bunch of grown ass men when you're kind of a little bit too big or too tall for your age. So I kind of grew up like that. I used that to join the military. That's how I left home. I wanted to get away from that. I wasn't a college girl. I was smart enough to be one, but it just wasn't my thing. I think I kind of like order and discipline. Right. And it wasn't until after my third kid that I went in the other direction of the Lord, because I didn't try boys, I didn't try girls, ain't none of that worked for me. And this so happens to work for me. So it might not be everybody's all to be all, but this is what keeps me in a safe space. And I respect everybody else and where they are in their process. So I can tell you about me.
Was religion part of your household growing up, or did you discover faith later in life?
Religion was a part of our household, but not as far as us talking about it. I had aunts who sing. And so singing in the church was a part of our household, not so much the rules. Right. And so I grew up in church singing. So I didn't learn anything about what the rules were supposed to be until I got in my late 20s, early 30s. And to be honest, I do not agree with all the rules. So that's why I learned it somewhere in my 30s.
Okay. Do you remember your earliest experience with church or spirituality?
Yes, my aunt Vanessa, who raised me, my mother had me kind of early. She needed a little help. So my aunt, who was a little bit more stable, but younger than my mama, took me in. And there was this song she used to want me to sing, and she taught me how to sing it. And so she put me in something in church, and that was the first time I sang in church. And somewhere in there, I got stuck right there.
Okay. Were there particular people in your life other than her who shaped your faith early on?
My grandmother which was her mother, my mom's mother. She wasn't really religious at all. She didn't go to church. Had little shot bottles in her pocketbook. We used to sneak and get them. You know what I'm saying? But she wasn't really religious. She was more just had a faith. So that's why I started at. But I really didn't get my own interpretation until, like I said, my 30s. My mother wasn't in church. My mother wasn't really religious. She believed in God, but she didn't practice it. And my dad don't even go to church. His own mother's funeral, he walked through and came out. He's not somebody gonna be in church. He don't believe in it that way. So yeah, I kind of found my faith on my own.
Did you ever question or struggle? Did you, excuse me, did you ever question or struggle with faith growing up?
I did. When I lost my aunt Suge, I questioned God because she raised me. The molestation I went through, I questioned him a lot. When I was in my teens trying to battle that, I questioned him a lot. When I went to the military, thinking that was my getaway, but no, it introduced me to this thing called alcohol, even more so. So I questioned him a lot. I've always questioned him in some way. And some would say, you don't question him. The devil is a lie. Yes, you do. I need to ask some questions because this is not going away. You said if I do this and I do that and I do this, this is going to happen. This is not what's happening. So yeah, I question him at times.
Okay. Was there a defining moment that strengthened or changed your beliefs?
The defining moment for me was when I stopped clubbing, when I stopped partying, when I stopped honestly sleeping with girls. Um, I knew something was different about me. I don't know if it was him per se. The Bible teaches me to say that it was him, but some of that has to be you. I don't care whether it's him or somebody else. You gotta want it for yourself. Just believing in something ain't it. So I would say that when I saw my life changing to where I was a different person, I felt like he was in it. But to be honest, I still didn't understand why he took so long to get in it.
Okay. How did you navigate those moments of your uncertainty?
I did navigate. I drank. I didn't navigate. I drank. I went to church. I did church. I did what people say we should do up in there. But I was really still not all the way together, which is what people don't understand. You got these older Christians or older folks in the church that done did everything and been everywhere, but want to make it hard for us trying to come in. Everything we do, we going to hell. You know, well, you ain't in hell. You know what I mean? So I think that I just still found my own way and got my own understanding. But it was not until I matured to say these are things that I'm not going to do until I felt like he was a part of it. But that's only because of the word. So I never took anybody else's reading of the Bible to me as the word. I had to read that thing and get my own understanding, what it meant for me. And honestly, I agree with a lot of the Bible, but I don't agree with a lot of it either. So it's still more of a faith base. I believe in something. I call it the all, but I wouldn't necessarily say that is the way people put it.
When did you first feel called to ministry or leadership in the church?
At your early age, I started singing praise and worship probably when I was in my 20s. That's when I started feeling like I was being called. I had gifts. As a kid too, there's a lot of things that I saw that I shouldn't have saw. There was a lot of things that I witnessed. I think it started early on. Adults don't believe when you tell them you see something that ain't supposed to be here. Oh, that's a whole nother can of worms, sir. I was seeing stuff that I wasn't supposed to see, and most people wouldn't believe it, but I was. So I knew early on I was being called to something. I just didn't know what it was.
Did you ever try to resist or ignore that calling?
I did. But I said to myself, I'm not ready. I'm just not ready. I'm just not ready. So people were like, you should be doing this and you need to be doing that. And you know, God got a calling on your life. And it doesn't mean anything until you're ready. Nobody can force you in that place. Right. And so people were trying to force me into a place I wasn't ready to go in because I still wanted to party. I still wanted to drink. I still wanted to smoke weed. I still wanted to try stuff that I hadn't tried before. So I had to find my own way. I don't necessarily say people should be doing something man created God. Okay. I ain't gonna even answer to that, but I'm just saying for me, I just got to a place where I wanted something different. Now, I believe in God, right? But I still say, what if it's not a him? I still would say that it was because of me and what I wanted that I moved in a different direction. Because even with, as we say in the church, God, he can't do nothing unless we let him in.
Okay. How did you know that becoming a pastor was the right path for you?
I love people. I was able to forgive people even when they didn't deserve it. I was able to not be mad at people who mistreated me. And based on what we learned in the Bible, Jesus was one of them people. He still got mad, but he loved you unconditionally. And when I was coming up, no, they loved you with conditions. Only when you did it the way they say you should do it, that's when they decided, no, I want to be a different pastor. I want to love you right where you are. That's a drinker, that's a smoker, that's a prostitute, that's a drug dealer, that's a murderer. It doesn't matter. I want to love you exactly where you are. And to be a pastor, you have to love everybody.
Who were mentors or role models who helped guide you along the way?
Apostle Janice Thomas, Lord rest her soul. She died about 3 weeks ago now. And my Aunt Shug, she died about 6 years now. I would like to say my mama came along later. As a matter of fact, I got saved before she did. So those are only two people I could give credit to and myself. And then I did have some really good leaders. All of them weren't good either. So I learned from them what I shouldn't do, right? To the people. I think at the end of the day, I started realizing it was just about how do you treat people. And you don't necessarily have to have a religion to do that. It's just you just being a good person. This person right here, let me answer that. The pastor without the building fund. Let me tell you something. My church is online. I don't ask for money. Ain't nobody giving me no money. I don't tell nobody to sow no seed. Because let me tell you something, the word is free. You shouldn't be charging people for something that's free. So I don't do that. That's all I got on that one.
What was the biggest challenge during that journey?
My biggest challenge was letting people not see my past. People always like, that girl's smart. That girl talented. That girl can stop when she walk in a room, it just stopped. Because of my height, my stature, how I carried myself, I could get in any room. But also it hurt me when it came to women who had men who might not been the best men as being the church girl or something. So my biggest challenge really has been Black women. Just because of how I look. Yep, it has been my biggest challenge. And I can't help that. Ain't nothing I can do about that. But I don't get in certain rooms. But I don't get in certain rooms because their husbands might not be the best people that we don't know about, or because they husbands have a eye for something new coming in the church. Say again, Reggie.
Everyone has eyes.
Yeah, everyone has eyes, but it's been a problem for me. Now, something about I am a I don't look like nobody else. I don't dress like most church girls, and I don't do that old school stuff that people do. I'm a little different, girls, and I don't do like a different something. I don't hide my attributes, but I don't put them all out on the table either. I hide my attributes, but I don't put them all out on the table either. I can't help that I'm curvy, but I ain't wearing no 2X dress to hide that. So it gets me in trouble sometimes, friend.
Sounds like some good trouble sometimes,
To that person that said internet warrior, I am an internet warrior. I'm on the Out of the Ashes from Whence I Came. That's my church on Facebook. My outside church is Culture Worship, but for me, what I actually pastor, it's online.
What's your experience has been like as a woman in pastoral leadership?
Yo, you asking some real. Oh, it's just as hard as it is with the women. It's with the men too. You got some pastors that got women and stuff, and they still be in your inbox. Like they'll bring you they're like, we'll put your name, we'll bring you here. You can do this, you can do that. If you comply, you could be bigger than you imagine. Now, I ain't saying all church women get there that way. I'm just saying it's presented. If you're a looker, they be like trying to get you in certain places. So it's been hard both sides.
Okay. Have you faced challenges or resistance because of that?
Sure. Yeah, I'm fighting my own way. That's why I started Out of the Ashes. There's a people for everybody. There's a people for your voice, your sound. And for me, it's the misfits. It's the ones that don't nobody want, right? Let me have you. Because if I got you, you're going to keep it 100 with me. You're going to keep it real. I ain't got to worry about you lying too much because you can already be who you are. So that's my church. I don't even look for the people that think they got it together or that they have arrived.
Has your identity shaped the way you approach ministry?
It has. I'm very careful. I have a very small circle. We would like to say that pastors do everything right, but that's a lie. We don't. We have isms and schisms, just like everybody else. We just not public with them. So because of that, you have to be careful who you share your oil with, who you trust to let them see your authentic you. We are on a path just like everybody else. Just because we get these titles don't mean that we got it all together. What it means is we have the ability to help other people get there. That's all that means. So these callers walking around here acting like they ain't doing nothing. They lying. they lie. I don't know, but so they get it down the road, but in the beginning, they lying. Y'all, you got your own ism and schism. You just ain't talking about it.
What message do you hope your presence and leadership sends to young women in the church?
Young women, know your worth. If you'll sleep with them, they'll sleep with you. They ain't gonna give you no platform just because they slept with you. Once you get that reputation in the church amongst these doggone men, it's gonna spread like you turn around. Every time it's time for you to move, it's gonna be because you got to do something you don't want to do. So I say to y'all, be authentic. Know your worth. You are the apple of God's eye. Hell, you the apple of your own eye. You gotta know whose you are and who you are. Because the minute you start lifting your skirt up to these church boys, I'm telling you, they connected. They're gonna talk about you. They're gonna talk about you there anyway. You just like any other you out here. If you giving it up, they're gonna spread your name around. So don't think because they pastors or people like that, they won't talk about you. They do. They let the next one know what you'll do. All pastors are not authentic.
Okay. What does a typical week in your life as a pastor look like?
I'm a student, so I attend ECU. I'm also in Bible college theology. I do a lot of that, but I also I go out to eat. I'm also in a pageant. I'm in Miss North Carolina plus size. I'm a size 14. I ain't as big as most of the girls, but anything over a size 10 will put you in there. I also own my own SAS, where I do modeling shows for plus size girls. They got to be at least a size 10 to walk. Also, I own my own school for Lean Six Sigma and project management. And I'm a teacher. I write a whole lot of IEPs. That's what I do.
Okay. What are the most rewarding parts of that role?
Which role?
Of you being a pastor?
The most important one is loving people where they are, not placing judgment on them, not forcing my opinion on them, letting them figure out for themselves if this is where they want to be. And if they decide that this is not what they want to do, still loving on them regardless. I can't get you in our so-called heavens or hells, but I can love you where you are regardless. So that is my biggest care. I just love people. I don't care what they got going on. They ain't got nothing to do with me.
Okay. So besides you being fine, what's the hardest parts that people may not see?
I'm misunderstood. Because I'm ex-military, because I'm very blunt, people take that as me talking at them, not that, or that I think I'm better. If these cats knew where I came from and what I came out of, they would take it back. So that before they get to know me, they just take off on my demeanor. I am militant in my own way. As a pastor, we walk with authority. As a soldier, we are born, they breed us to be that. So when we come in looking real strong and standing straight and speaking direct, we get in trouble because people don't like that sometimes. So that's been the most misunderstood place for me, is that I think I'm better.
How do you take care of your own spiritual and mental health while supporting others?
They are that. That's how I take care of it, because the more I can help them, the more I feel like I'm getting somewhere with them, the more I feel like I'm doing what my job is. My job is not to even have this title. My job is to serve the people, period. So if I can serve someone, whether their title is less than mine or not, and I can get you where you need to be, whether that's in God or not, if I can get you to go back to school to get your diploma, it ain't got nothing to do with church. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, let me get you where I can get you. How can I help you build in life? What's in your brain? What can I do to help you make this money you're talking about? I'm a coach by trade. So my reward in this walk is seeing other people transform, whether it be in God or out.
Okay. What do you wish more people understood about faith or the church today?
Say that one more time.
I said, what do you wish more people understood about faith or the church today?
People need to understand that you can't just pray to God and something happens. The Bible teaches us faith without works is dead. You can't say, I'm going to sit right here at home on this chair and get that $60 million job. You ain't going to put in no application. You ain't going to go figure out what you need to do that. You know what I'm saying? That is crazy. You got to go do something. You got to go apply for the jobs. You got to go speak to the people. You got to figure out what you want to grow. People get mad with God because they didn't get up and do anything to help him from our perspective to get them there. You cannot just sit at home and get a six-figure job without applying for it. So that's what I need people to understand. Y'all got it messed up if you think you don't have to do no work. In my world, he assists you. He don't do all the work. You got to do something for yourself.
What advice would you give someone searching for faith or meaning?
Read the word and understand it for yourself. Read all the books out there on religion and understand it for yourself and figure out which one fits you. There are so many words. There's Islam. It's a lot of religions. My son and his father, actually, they're a Krishna. My baby boy is not me. My middle kid is a minister. And my oldest is just starting to go to church. So you got to go out there and figure out what it is that you believe in. And people just got to respect what you believe in. I ain't got to do what you do, but I still can respect you. I ain't judging you on your religion. I'm judging you on how you treat me.
If someone feels confused or disconnected from religion, where should they begin?
Fixing themselves. At this point, you don't know what to believe. It might not be for you. Religion might not be for everybody. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I know where I want you to go. But if you confused about it, you need to really at that point figure out you. What is it that you're looking for? And then start your research and then go from there. Not even I can get them discombobulated when they don't know.
Okay. What keeps you hopeful about the future of faith-based communities?
I want to see people attached to something that's the all. Something that makes them, because even if you don't practice religion, if you just be good to people, if you're kind, if you're helpful, if you want to help the community, if you want to just be good to people, that in itself gets you in, whether you know it or not. You don't have to claim something to do that. Be good to people. Treat people like you want to be treated, period. You don't have to claim an identity to do that.
Has your understanding of God changed over the years?
It has not. It has not. What I was taught growing up, well, maybe it has, because like I said, when I was growing up, everything you do, you going to hell. You don't get no chance to make it right. You keep doing that, you going to hell. You gonna burn in hell. Now, that is what I heard a lot growing up. And so with that, half of us were scared to join the church because we already knew we had them isms and schisms. We going to hell if we die the next day. So a lot of us didn't go to church because when we were younger, because we were scared we going to hell on everything. But what I did learn over the years that He gave us grace. That's why Jesus died on the cross. It was a sacrifice. So that means He give you grace. Now, will your grace run out? Well, even in the real world, you ain't got to be in no religion. Your grace will run out. So it's up to you. You decide where you want to be.
Do you remember a moment when you felt especially close to God?
Here lately, in the last 2.5 years, I married someone. I married someone with some health conditions. I knew he had them, but I thought I could help him. But he was one of them rah-rah New York. A man hear me roar, even in his condition. He wouldn't let me tell him nothing. So by not listening and taking care of himself, he had a massive stroke in the brain. I hadn't even been married a year, and I was like, God, what are you doing? What are you doing to me? Like, I don't want to be nobody's nurse. Like, I was trying to do my fourth quarter right because I'm in my 50s. And so I had to take care of him. And then I had to put him in a nursing home. And then it just, from there, I lost everything trying to keep him before I even put him in a nursing home. And so I had to work really hard to get back here. So, yeah, he tested me, he tried me this time because I was really like, where are you? Because I'm doing everything you're telling me to do, and I still got this situation right here. I will probably remarry again. I probably will divorce. So somebody who know him see this, you can tell him it's okay. I already had the conversation with him. But I will always be his power of attorney.
You coming out? You coming out?
Huh?
You coming out on my platform or something?
A little bit. A little bit. So I'm gonna always take care of him though. Wherever he at, he always know that I took care of him. Because at this point, he can't hurt nobody. He just being taken care of 24/7.
Okay. What does your prayer look like personally? Well, excuse me. What does your prayer look like personally? Well, excuse me. What does prayer look like for you personally, Annette?
I pray for things. There's a lot of balance here. I pray for the young. Honestly, I pray a lot for the young Black men here. I have 2 Black men, my boys, 28 and 26. And so I pray that this city is healed, because these kids are killing each other for a little less than nothing. And it don't make no sense. That's my prayer life. And I pray for those in my church, the leadership, their families, their kids. I pray for a nation in general. You know, I even pray for the president, because I'm gonna tell you something. I don't care who tell him. He's stupid sometimes. And so I pray for him too. You know, he do the most. He do the most, friend. So I be praying somebody in his ear.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
I said I be praying that somebody in his ear a little bit. Some of his stuff, though, I don't disagree with, because it affects me as far as my income bracket. That should be affecting me a little bit. The little rules he be making. But at the end of the day, whether he exists or not, I create my own existence. So I don't really care. I wanted somebody different, but we got what we got. But that is not the end of the world for me. I create my world, not him.
Have you ever experienced a crisis of faith?
Yeah. Yeah, when Brian had that stroke, I was in a crisis right there, because kind of the people I expected to be there won't. And I had to, at some point, I felt like I had to do that by myself. Yep. I was like, where they at? You said that if I do this, I do that, they will do this. That wasn't happening. So I'm being taught that shit, right? But I was like, no, people gonna do what they want to do. People gonna show up where they want to repeat. They ain't got nothing to do with my process. It's just people being. That's all I got right there. Yeah.
How do you personally handle moments when prayer seemed unanswered?
It wasn't for me. It feels like it wasn't for me. Yep. When something don't happen, that means I got something bigger and better for you. This is not what I had for you. And so I'm not going to give you that. That's what it means to me. Yeah.
Do you think questioning faith can actually make someone's belief stronger?
I don't really do that Christian thing. That word kind of throws me, because I don't really operate like that. To me, it's kingdom. What does the word say? Christian is a whole lot of loaded stuff. So I am basically biblical.
Okay.
This person say you settle for rejection. No, I don't settle for rejection. I feel like it's just not for me. That's it. That's all. I don't settle for nothing. So if it don't happen, then something else is supposed to happen. That's just how I feel. It don't mean I'm rejecting it. It just means it just wasn't for me.
How do you respond when someone says they've lost their faith?
I don't, because that's for them to find. I lead them into the direction of the word, but people can lose their faith. I have done that. So I can't be hard on them. They got to find their way back to that. And my word don't necessarily get them there. So I actually have to put them back into the word to where I got mine from, right? But at the end of the day, I can't argue with them for losing it.
What does being a pastor mean to you beyond preaching?
I really don't preach that much. But being a pastor to me means I take care of the sheep. So I'm supposed to be the shepherd. They're the sheep, right? That's how it's worded. But what it means is I'm teaching something here and they're here and I'm trying to get them there. So preaching ain't really my thing. I walk in giving them a good example of what it looks like is what I try to do, right? And I just want to make sure that I'm taking care of your concerns. Your heart is broken. You're sad. Maybe if you are hungry, can I feed you? What do your family need? Y'all hungry? What can I get? You need light bill paid? Let's do that. Now I ain't gonna let you take advantage of that. Who did say that women, do you know that women are supposed to be pastors? I'm gonna need you to shake yourself, because the Bible uses the word men in plural. It has nothing to do with our sex. So I'm gonna need you to go educate yourself. And I ain't gonna even argue with you on here, because that ain't what I come up here to do. But some things that strike a chord, Reggie. Anybody who can speak life into someone is important, whether I have a pastor's title or not. I could be a plain woman. It ain't in the Bible. You just, okay, come on, Reggie, because I'm finna argue with her. I don't even want to argue with her. I'm not gonna do it.
What do you do when someone comes to you with a problem and you don't have the answer?
When I don't have the answer, we do the research. I don't have the answer, you don't have the answer. So let's see what people typically do in this situation. And then from there, we look at where are you in this? What do you need from this? And where are we going? That's it. It's just sitting down, coming up with a plan.
All right. How do you balance being a spiritual leader and still being human?
We good with that in our church, kind of because we love each other where we are. We know that we got issues, right? We all know that we got issues, and we accept that, and knowing that we're not perfect. So that never gets us into trouble, because we understand that up front. We're not judging them. And at the same time, they're not judging us.
What role should the church play in today's society, in your opinion?
We need to be community. We need to be helping these communities out. You know, we need to be doing stuff for domestic violence. We need to be doing stuff about people getting killed unnecessarily out here on these streets, gang violence. We need to be talking to the churches. We need to talk to the police department. Like, what can we do to make this community? They call me the modern day Esther. I'm trying to save a whole community. What can I do to save where I live? And if it can go beyond North Carolina, what can I do? That's where I'm at.
How has the church changed compared to when you were younger?
The women are more like me now. They are not, back in the day, women couldn't wear pants. They had to wear a dolly on their head. All this stuff that's not in the word. All this stuff that don't matter. That's just like saying Jesus should have wore pants and not a skirt. The whole time he wore a long garment, because they didn't have pants back then. I'm just saying. But stuff like that, we shouldn't wear red lipstick. That was a big thing growing up. We shouldn't wear. Church is a little different now. They really do go by the word more so than what somebody granddaddy told them they ought to be doing.
Why do you think many people are leaving organized religion today?
Because of like some of what your folks are saying up here. A lot of them being mishandled. A lot of them being, who in the world tells somebody you need to bring your W-2s to the church so I can see what you making, so I can tell if you giving me what I need? Get your whole life, shake yourself. That kind of stuff right there makes it hard for us with genuine hearts to just love on you. You are telling people that you need to know how much money they make. I don't know who did that, but if I was at that church, I would have left. They wouldn't see me no more. Some of that false stuff, like judging people, telling people they going to hell. I don't necessarily agree with same-sex marriages. You know what I'm saying? But I got a daughter who's married to a female. And guess what? I love her and her wife. Like, that's their life. That's not even for me. It's not like I got to live it and go through it. I'm just there to support. How can I help you? And please don't say nothing to me about it, even though I am the pastor. I'll forget I'm the pastor and see about you if you're talking about mine. Just being honest. You know what I'm saying? People not realizing that we can even do this. Like, say, I'll beat you up. Because we will. We're not perfect. And so I just need people to stop lying to people, acting like we got this all together. We just don't. We just don't. So they make it hard for preachers who think like I do. They think all of us think that, like, the bad version of God that they got, if that makes sense.
Has your life experience shaped the way you preach and lead?
Yes. I'm not preaching on nothing I have not yet arrived from. If I got something that I'm still doing, how can I tell you not to? We got a lot of preachers out there preaching about stuff they doing. And then when you get exposed, TDJ, when you get exposed, people try to make excuses for it. No, you wrong. You know what Diddy was doing. What was you doing at them type of parties? Don't play with me, sir. Get yourself. I'm just saying.
I'm not going to talk to you about nothing that I have not overcome.
Has culture played in your spiritual journey?
Yeah, I'm from the South. They have church in the yard, the revival tents, and all that stuff. Yeah, I come from that, Rich. So yeah, it has played a part of my life. I've always known who he was because it was talked about in my family. But like I said, my father's side, they sang in the church, but I saw white liquor and corn liquor and parties and cookouts all the time. You know, on the other side, my mama's side was much more conservative, right? But I only had one or two of them really living it. So I kind of just gravitated to the one that felt good. Unshould kind of just made me feel good, like she loved on me even in my mistakes, even when I didn't do it right. So I think that's why I gravitated, because she was showing it to me in a positive way, not an ugly way.
Do you think faith communities sometimes struggle to talk about real life issues?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do, because they might have to expose themselves. That's the problem. This young lady right here, established in 77. That's why you was established. Established in 77. That's why you was established in there. That's why you talking this dumbness. Because let me tell you something. I'm not a prophet. There's a difference between a teacher, a minister, I don't dream that. Look, I'm not that. So if you're going to argue with me, make it make sense. I want you to make it make sense for me, because I don't disagree with how you feel at all. But what you calling me is a false prophet, and I'm not a prophet. So you might be right in that way, because I'm not a prophet. I don't read the future. I didn't look at you and say, in 3 days, you're going to get so-and-so, ma'am. I don't know you. So I can't even tell you that. So if you're going to argue, I suggest you do like what I normally see people do up here, is put some backup behind it. What you're doing right now is just talking. And so since you just talking, it's just noise, ma'am. Get yourself.
How do you create a church environment where people feel safe beyond being honest?
When they tell me something they don't hear it across the pulpit. When you tell me something, tell me not to tell nobody, I ain't gonna mention it. I don't care how bad it is. That's what I do, because in other environments, you might hear you done told your leader something that you thought it was secret, and they talking about it over across the pulpit. I want you to be able to trust me. Even in your ugly places, trust me. No, I didn't miss that, Miss Established 77. I'm just missing you right now. Move on. I'm back.
Have you ever faced criticism as a pastor? Other than
Yeah,
right now?
she's doing it right now. And she's doing it right now, even though I'm on her side. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm on her side. I'm saying you don't have to believe in what I believe in. I love you anyway. You know what I'm saying? And you over here trying to see about me because you just want to do what? I need you to laugh your ass off because you're real silly right now. You know what I'm saying? There are people out here that genuinely love you, whether you my side or not. I'm telling you I love you whether you on my side or not. And you still talking shit. So that just tells me you're not capable of loving.
Just ignore them again. That's
oh
what I
my
asked you.
God, I'm doing good for me.
Listen, my friends are atheists, so they don't believe that's why I asked you. I'm like, you sure you're going to have it on TikTok?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do, because I'm going to argue just like that.
No, not right now. Not right now. We can argue later. This is pieces.
Woo! Okay, friend. I'm going to get it together. Bring me back around.
How do you handle disagreements within your congregation?
Oh, we do some counseling. Now, if it's two females or something like that, we're not gonna put them in the presence of males. That's to protect the males, though. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes people be saying you did something you didn't do, stuff like that. So we come together. We try to get, if it's within the congregation, we try to get that person, whoever you got the problem with, to sit down and talk about it. If that's not gonna work, then we pull you into a safe space. So if it's within a safe space, so you both can say what y'all feel, and then try to work from there. If y'all still don't get it, we're gonna agree to disagree. Y'all just don't bother each other. Y'all just don't agree. But we ain't gonna force y'all to love each other.
Right. What do you say to people who feel hurt by the church?
Oh, I can understand that. I've been church hurt. Many times. What I can say, though, is don't gravitate to the people who show it to you right. Remember, the church is not the building you in, it's the people. right? So you have to realize what people you want to connect to and what you don't. Don't go into every church feeling like you're going to get the same thing you got from where you were at. So give people a fair shot and gravitate to who's gravitating to you.
How you doing, Record? How do you stay compassionate when dealing with conflict?
Well, I'm on just a whole bunch of bag of love anyway. I don't be going through all that. I'm one of them pastors that don't got all that conflict because I just love you. Even when you don't agree with me, I'm going to smile and tell you, come here and give me some love. You know, I just don't let nothing get under my skin. I used to think as a child something's wrong with me because I just love everybody. I just didn't know how to, be mean. You know? So I don't know. I don't think I ever have to deal with that because I just love on everybody.
How can someone bring faith into their daily life outside the church?
You can read. You don't have it on that. I would prefer them to read the Bible to get their own understanding so that they don't have to feel like they take other people's word for it. Or they can meditate. Some people smoke weed. Now I don't smoke no weed now, but that's how some people gravitate, you know. Whatever keeps you calm to where you ain't acting out, you ain't being a fool or embarrassing yourself or losing everything you got behind it. You know what I mean? So I just think you can find faith in many different areas. It don't always have to come from the church.
How do you encourage people who feel disconnected from spirituality?
Honestly, I do. I invite them to church because I do. Honestly, I do. I invite them to church because I do want them to see it in another level to where they, you know, like you said, some people have been. So when that happens, I try to get them in, gravitate away from us. So when that happens, I try to, but they just loving you.
Okay. What advice would you give someone who wants to deepen their faith but doesn't know where to start?
For me, I'm gonna ask them to have conversations, have
Faith.
conversations, have many conversations with people who are in religion, have conversations with people who are not doing religion. You know, do the research, do all the research on all the religions and see what fits for you. It might not be my God. It might not be my God. But as long as it's making you love people, care for people, have a big heart, care about the positives than the negatives, does that make sense? I don't really. That's all that I can tell them. Find it the way you need to find it. But you need to do some research and talk to some people.
What has ministry taught you about people?
One more time. Because you're breaking up.
What has ministry taught you?
It taught me how to, he did teach me how to have a heart posture because I was one of them now. To have a heart posture because I was one of them now. You piss me off, I don't like you. I ain't talking to you. I ain't doing shit. Piss me nothing. I don't care. That's how I used to be. But ministry taught me that I gotta love everybody because, you know, sometimes people be making decisions based on the confrontation of where they are in their life. They don't really mean to project it on you. It's just that's just where they are. And so I just learned to love people even in their mess.
I'm only going to ask you 4 more questions. What message do you hope people take away from your ministry?
What I want you guys to understand that from my ministry perspective, you are in a safe zone. I'm not telling you you have to believe in what I believe in. I'm just telling you that I want you to be a good person. I want you to know that I love you regardless of your differences. I want you to know that what I've learned from the God that I serve, that there is no judgment. And that you get there when you get there. He loves you no matter what you've done, how you did it, and who you did it to. He still loves you. And that for me, who wouldn't serve a God that loves me regardless of what I've done? So that's what I want people to take from there.
If you could speak to yourself about faith, what would you say?
If I could speak to myself,
If you could speak to yourself about faith, what would you say?
I would say faith without works is dead. And if you don't get out there and do the work for the things that you manifest in your life, they're not coming. You're waiting for somebody that people have made people feel like he supernaturally drops it. No, there's work to be done. And sometimes there's things that you can't explain, like where it come from, because you knew it was no other avenue. I get that too. But really, you have to believe in it. It's kind of like the power of word. Whatever you speak out of your mouth is what comes to pass. But you got to do the work. That's what I would say about faith. Godless, if you talking to me, Reggie, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Okay, I'm back. I don't know if you can hear me or not yet. Can you hear me now?
I can.
You sure you can hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So, 2 more questions. What gives you hope for the future of faith communities?
I would hope that hypocrisy would leave us. That just genuinely loving people would come up, and genuinely us getting out there doing the work, not making people feel bad by not being able to tithe or whatever, stuff like that. No, just tell it what it is. In order for just tell it what it is. In order for the church to stay open, we need help paying stuff. Don't let the church to stay open. We need help paying stuff. Don't make it seem like. I just want them to change the concept, because I feel like we're getting a bad rap because of some of the bad stuff people done did. So I'm just hoping that the church will be more transparent and honest with its people, and do love people where they are. You got to remember, everybody got a story. Everybody got a past. So I'm just hoping that people will just stop judging people. That's the biggest thing.
Okay. What would you say to someone who has completely given up on religion?
I would be sad for them. And I wouldn't be mad if they gave up on religion. I would be mad if they gave up on kingdom. Religion is a lot of things, but I would be sad if people gave up on kingdom. Yeah, religion is a lot of things. You give up a religion, yeah, do that. But don't give up on kingdom. And that's whatever your word is to you. Whatever book you use is to you. That's what I would say.
I want to thank you, Margaret, for taking the time out today to come on my show. I definitely appreciate it. This shit definitely was dope. I'll send you the link if you want to watch it and review it for yourself later on. I thank everybody for stopping by, watching, and asking questions and shit. My phone is fucking ringing off the damn hook. I'm gonna go out for a little bit and stop my YouTube. If y'all want to come back in like 15 minutes, if y'all want to debate, we can. But thank you again, Margaret. I appreciate you.
All right, Hud. Have a good day.
Hold on, let me give you at least a couple more gifts before you go. Hold on.
Thank you. Maybe one day you're going to tell me what those gifts mean.
They mean cash if they link to your damn PayPal account.
Okay. Thank you.